Welcome to the Stones River Water Treatment Plant for the City of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The Stones River Water Treatment Plant provides drinking water to most of the City of Murfreesboro. We have a design capacity of 20 million gallons per day, and we get our water from the East Fork of the Stones River. So I want to welcome you here today so you can see more about how the process of treating drinking water takes place.
The water treatment plant pulls water from the East Fork of the Stones River by way of two pump station locations. Sodium permanganate is often fed at these locations to oxidize iron and manganese, reduce taste and odor, and help reduce total organic compounds that impact disinfection. The water is pumped from these stations to the pre-treatment building for further treatment. Here, a coagulant and coagulant aid is added to remove particles in the water by creating larger particles called floc. In addition, lime is used to reduce hardness. The water then continues to the softening basin. The purplish color of the water in the triangle is the sodium permanganate. The water leaves the triangle and moves by pipe to the center portion of the basin where flocculation takes place, causing the floc particles to grow. The water moves downward and comes up to the outmost part of the softening basin where the water will become clearer as it passes into the troughs. The pH of the water is increased just prior to this basin, which removes some of the calcium hardness. Once in the trough, the water will receive hydrogen peroxide or sodium hypochlorite before passing into the sedimentation basin. The softening process is completed in this basin. Next, the water moves to the settling basin. As water passes through, the floc begins to settle out due to the weight, size, and gravity. Near the end of the settling basin are tube settlers. These settlers are formed plastic with a sloped angle that allows the floc particles to make contact, and as the particles get larger, they settle to the bottom of the basin, allowing the clear water to go into the troughs and move to the microfiltration membranes. The Paul Corporation microfiltration membranes have a pore size of 0.1 microns. So, nothing larger than 0.1 microns can pass through the membranes. Therefore, the membranes can remove suspended solids, bacteria, cysts, and oocysts, organics, and other contaminants from the treated water. This method of treatment replaces gravity filtration. Next in the process are the granular activated carbon contactors. The GAC is a porous absorption media with extremely high internal surface area and is useful for the removal of taste and odor-producing compounds, natural organic matter, volatile organic compounds, synthetic organic compounds, and disinfection byproduct precursors. The GAC contactors are a major part of the treatment process to polish the water before going into the final stage of treatment to become finished water. The post-treatment building houses the storage tanks used for cleaning the membranes and storage tanks for phosphate, sodium hypochlorite, fluoride, and sodium chloride. It also houses the on-site hypochlorite generation system used to produce sodium hypochlorite, which is used in disinfecting the water. The Stones River Water Treatment Plant also houses a number of laboratories involved in making sure the water produced meets the highest standards for customer use. The Process Control Laboratory is operational 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Here, operators determine the operational status of the treatment process. It allows for the quality assurance and quality control of the process, as well as an opportunity to identify any changes that need to be made in order to provide the highest quality of water to customers. The Chemical Laboratory is the overall quality assurance and quality control for the finished drinking water. It is mainly focused on the water going to or on customer premises. The laboratory personnel provide testing for a wide variety of contaminants. Murfreesboro Water Resources collects a minimum of 100 distribution samples each month for chemical analysis. The Bacteriological Laboratory is the overall quality assurance and quality control for source water, treatment water, and finished water. This lab tests for coliform and E. coli bacteria. Murfreesboro Water Resources collects a minimum of 100 distribution samples each month for bacteriological analysis. And finally, the Volatiles Laboratory, which is used for the analysis of disinfection byproducts. Using two separate gas chromatographs, the lab tests for haloacetic acids and total trihalomethanes. Nothing helps more with understanding the water treatment process than looking at the history of the plant by way of their museum. The museum houses many of the historical documents and equipment that has been used or plays a part of the Murfreesboro water system since the early 1900s. It's become one of the favorite places for school tours because they can see chart recorders, laboratory equipment, meter reading books, and many other historic pieces from the system.
So as we close today, the last stop that we've made here is in the Stones River Water Treatment Plant Museum. The museum contains a lot of the equipment and materials that have been used in the Murfreesboro Water Resources Department since the early 1900s. So we have everything from plaques for the original water treatment plant to some of the meter reading books from the early 1900s. So we always take this opportunity whenever we have school tours to bring them to the museum to show them some of the history of the Murfreesboro Water Resources Department.